right, left, dropping front, back. Well, hello there, fabulous dancer, and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the first time that you are visiting me, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to share the dance floor with you. My name is Sahira, and I believe that belly dance is for everybody, no matter your age, your gender identity, or your body type. And in this video, we are going to dive into several practical tips and tricks so that you can belly dance comfortably, beautifully, and safely at any age. So let's go ahead and dive in. My name is Sahira, and I'm here to teach you the beautiful art of belly dance. If you enjoy this kind of step-by-step tutorial to help you master the beautiful art of belly dance, you'll definitely want to give this video a like and subscribe so that I can send you new content weekly. Or even better, join my mailing list and get a free full-length class delivered to your inbox right now. You can find me at sahirabellydances.com/join me. I would love to share the dance floor with you there. Oh, and some of you are asking about my new shirt. You can find your very own Sahira shirt now on my website at sahirabellydances.com/shop. I have been belly dancing now for 24 years, and in that time, my body has experienced a change or two. I've gone through pregnancy while belly dancing. I danced the entire time, and now I'm not as young as I used to be. And that's okay, because this is a dance that is for every age, every body. It's for everyone. And so in this video, I'm going to show you some things that I have learned that I use myself, and some things that I share with some of my students to help them navigate the dance as their body changes through the different stages of life, so that you can always feel confident, comfortable, and safe on the dance floor. First, let's talk about two basic kind of general overarching ideas. The first one is footwear. I used to dance barefoot all the time, and I still do like to walk around barefoot, but I do not like to dance barefoot anymore. It might have been my many years dancing at restaurants and hookah lounges. Ugh. Yeah, I started wearing shoes or dance slippers because it was just gross. And now I actually find that I'm far more comfortable in dance shoes in class. One, because it protects my feet from any debris that might be on the floor, from any, inconsistencies in the flooring. And then also I find that anything that requires me to spin or turn or glide is just a lot easier when I have some protective footwear on. I prefer little ballet slippers. They have sort of a leather bottom, so spins and turns become a lot easier. Some of my students like to wear the little footies that go just around the ball of the foot. But if you do not yet dance with shoes, you might want to consider them for just a little bit of extra support and for a little bit of extra glide as you navigate the dance floor. The other idea is knees. Knees. We all have knees, and we're only given two of them, and we'd like them to last as long as possible. I personally have struggled with knee issues for most of my life, and they just get crankier as I get older, but I am bound and determined to keep these for as long as I can. And so a couple of ideas when it comes to knees in general. As your knees sort of wear out and start to get a little achy, think about plieing a little less intensely. We spend a lot of time in a gentle plie in belly dance. It's really good for hip movement. You might find that you need to come out of it every so often to help prevent knee injury, or to help prevent your knees from getting tired. But here's a big idea. Even when you are in a plie, I want you to always be aware that the knees should stay behind the toes. Sometimes there's a tendency to sort of cant forward a little bit, and for our energy to end up towards our toes when we bend the knees. I want you to think instead like your back is on a wall behind you, and as you bend your knees, your back remains in contact with that wall. So when I dance, I definitely keep my weight a little bit back more towards my heels, which alleviates pressure on my knees by making sure that they stay back behind the toe line. I also do a lot of exercises to strengthen my thighs and my quads, because that will help take pressure off of the joint. But regardless, thinking about keeping your weight a little bit back, keeping those knees behind the toes, and making sure that that plie doesn't become too big is really going to help you maintain the ability to dance comfortably, yet reduce strain on your knees. So what we're going to do now is go through a basic combination. I'm going to teach you this combination as if I were just teaching it to a general class, and then I'm going to walk you step by step through a different sorts of ideas that will help you augment and use this combination in a way that feels good on your body. So let's walk through the combination first, shall we? We're going to start with a grapevine, front and back. We're going to cross right over left, open up, and step behind. Then there'll be a moment that we prepare for some hip drops. When I prepare, I like to do a little bit of a flare in my foot, and then I prepare. We're going to go from here into two drop releases on the left hip. Drop, release, right? So what we have so far, to review, we're doing our grapevine, right, left, prepare, drop, release, drop, release. From here, we're going to do 2 inner hip rolls, which are a weighted movement starting on the right, inner hip roll right, inner hip roll left. And we're going to use that to turn to the front. So you're just using this, shifting your weight so that you turn to the front. And then from here, we're going to do a little hop. I know, I said hop. You don't have to do the hop. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second, but let's just say there's a hop. We're going to hop onto the left, crossover, turn around, and come to face front, right? So one more time, showing you this, and then we're going to talk about how you can augment this to work for your body. Now, crossing front, open, back, prepare, drop, release twice, drop, release. Inner hip roll to turn forward, a little hop from the right foot, which is where you're standing, onto the left, turning it around and coming to face the front. I'm going to give you some arms. Feel free to make them your own, but these are the arms I'll be using. I'm going to cross front, open, Florio around, prepare, drop, release twice. Here, I'm going to push the arms down as we come into that inner hip roll. And then with the hop, I'm going to shoot the arms down and then draw them up through the center. Got that? Whether or not you've got that. Let's go on and talk about how we can augment this to work for you, no matter how your body's feeling today. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that again. And I'm going to give you specific ways you can easily augment this. And it's not going to change the concept of the combination. It's still going to be beautiful and graceful, but it will make you feel perhaps a little more stable and a little more confident and a lot less worried about creating any injury as you dance, because we don't want any injury as you dance. The grapevine, we're going to keep the same. Front and back. What makes this grapevine a little bit easier, I think, is if you really allow the body to angle with it. Yes, you can grapevine and keep the body sort of straight forward, but it feels a little bit more awkward on the hips and the thighs. And so if you will allow your body to turn as you step with the grapevine in the way that it naturally wants to turn, you'll find it a little bit easier. So you get your 3 steps and then you're prepped for the hip drops. No need to do the fun little flick. You can leave that off. Now, if this hip drop release is a challenge because it puts a lot of strain on your standing leg, it does require some strength on that back leg, and it does require some balance because at some point in time, you're literally standing on one leg. Take it out, right? You have a couple of options. You can think drop 4 times, but I think to like spice it up a little bit, let's think drop front and back, front and back, front and back. So you still have a little bit of that variability that you get with that drop release. But instead of removing the foot from the floor, you're keeping the foot on the floor, maybe keeping a little bit of weight in the ball of that left foot to help support you so that you don't have so much weight on that back leg. Front and back, front and back. From here, going into that inner hip roll, what I tend to do and how I teach this is that you want to get a big plie to push off to turn to the front. Now, it's a big plie, that's tough on the knees. And then you also are going to be balancing as you come around, right? Let that go. Reduce the plie and think about using the obliques a little bit more to create that big inner hip roll, that vertical figure 8 movement without having to rely on the knees so much. So let's just play with this idea. I want you to take that inner hip roll, think about really pulling in from the obliques, rolling through the feet, but at no point in time am I deep plieing, at no point in time am I balancing as I do this movement, right? Pulling in and in. So if we were going to turn it from the side, we can still create that movement. You can still create a lot of length and beauty to the sides without having to bend the knees too much. You can even keep the heels a little bit closer to the floor. The less you use your knees, the more you're going to want to engage with the obliques to help those movements happen, right? So we've got our inner hip roll and our inner hip roll. And then the last part, this was the doozy, right? The jump, it's not a jump, it's a hop, but either way, and a turn, right? If you do not hop, and I do not blame you, take it out, right? Inner hip roll, inner hip roll. Our goal is to change our weight from the right foot to the left foot. So you can simply just change it, right? If you think of a lift, like, maybe even like a little heel lift, it gives that illusion of a hop, instead of actually hopping, you can think just kind of lifting up on the ball of the foot to create that feel. So we're going to do that little hop. And then here's a big one. This is one I tell my students all the time when they're like, oh, I can't get around in the turn. I feel off balance. My legs get tangled up, or I'm just not comfortable turning this way. Don't spin on your feet. Just walk it around. This is what I mean. Instead of taking the foot over and literally spinning around on the balls and the heels of your feet, you're going to cross your foot over and walk. What you want to do as you walk is think about turning your feet out to create that walk so that you can get around as quickly as possible, because that was a fairly fast turn, right? So we get the little bounce to switch our weight, and then I step, 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 and there you are, right? So keep your feet right underneath you. Keep the steps small. The feet don't have to travel far. They just need to turn your radius. They need to create a good radius of turn. So you just want to think about turning out as you do that to walk yourself around, right? So let's go ahead and review. Those are all the pieces, taking it and like taking the impact down a notch, right? So starting with our grapevine, we're crossing over, making sure our body angle is changing. Here we go into our preparation. And then we're going to drop front and back, minimizing the bend in that back knee and creating interest by twisting the hip front and back, front and back. Now we're going to go into that inner hip roll, never taking our feet up off the ground completely and using our obliques just a little bit more, right? So we're drawing the arm down through, no hop. Switch your weight with a little bounce. Ta-da! And then crossing here and stepping around. And there you go. Yeah? Let's try that again. All right, setting up again, making sure that you've got nice engagement in the lower abdominals, really a lot of lower abdominal, like keeping that engagement and awareness there is really going to help create your good posture and protect your back as well. So going ahead and crossing over, stepping out and prepare, drop front and back, front and back. We're going to inner hip roll, keeping the feet on the floor, little bounce, cross and walk it around. Yes, now we're going to compare it. I'm going to just do it again with you. I'm going to do the original version so you can see that it's really not a huge difference and it's just as beautiful. Yeah, let's try it. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes! Awesome job. All right, if you can start over to the right, so we can do it a couple times in a row. Take a nice deep breath up. And a nice tall spine, engage the abdomen. 7, 8, it's right, left, dropping front, back, inner hip roll, right, and left, little bounce, walk it around. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, front and back. Front and back. Use those obliques, not as much as the knees, right? Mostly obliques. And walk and walk and walk. One more time here if you've got space, and then I'm going to reset because I'm running out of room. We're going inner hip roll, step and over. Yeah, let's do it 3 more times just like that. We'll go 5, 6, here we go. Right, left, it's front and back. Front and back, inner hip roll, use those obliques, maybe a little bounce feel, yeah? And over, 2, 3, 4, front and back, inner hip roll, little hop. One more time, you got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, front and back, Beautiful. And strike your pose. Fabulous job, beautiful dancer. I want to know which of these tips is most useful to you. And as a reminder, we talked about like 3 different ideas today, or 4 different ideas. We talked about the concept of footwear, right? And reducing knee bend, keeping your weight a little bit back towards the heels to protect the knees. And then we talked about augmenting movements to not end up deeply bending the knees, perhaps relying more on the obliques, right? And not using any bounces or spins that require us to move very quickly, but rather to use the idea of lift and step to get us around instead of that sort of spin on the feet, which might not be as comfortable. Which of these ideas are you going to use? Are you going to use them all? And then if there's something in particular within your belly dance practice that's troubling you or giving you issue that you would like to find a way to augment, will you let me know? Because then I can make a video about that to help you out as well. I would love to hear from you. Let's continue the conversation, shall we? I would love to hear from you. You can always contact me at contact@theherobellydances.com, or better yet, join my mailing list so I can send you new tutorials every single week. I'll send you a free class online in thanks for you joining me there. theherobellydances.com/join me. I look forward to sharing the dance floor with you very soon.